What is the origin of what made you change your thinking?
Yeah, now it's like, oh, cool, I want very bad things to happen to very powerful people. And then it was just like trauma after trauma and my assaults and just the...
So how else did anyone else know how much you were struggling at this time?
Yes and no, kind of, sort of ish, because like I said, I've been making content for almost 2 years now pretty consistently and sharing a little bit of that with people. But I mostly try to keep my stuff geared on the positive side, or whenever I have big emotions, I'll let that anger and stuff come out. But I really don't like showing that sadness, that grief, because it feels
Hopeless.
bad. Yeah, well, no, for me specifically, there's a lot of like shame and guilt and just repressed emotion from my childhood, because as a kid, I was very often physically or mentally or emotionally hurt for trying to speak my needs, for trying to set up boundaries, trying to advocate for myself in any kind of capacity. And so doing that as an adult, especially with all of the crazy shit that's going on, has been so just extremely uncomfortable and heavy and weird, and sometimes it just really feels inauthentic crying in front of a camera, because people will say,
It does.
oh, well, don't cry, that's stupid, it's fake, da-da-da.
Well, that's the thing, is you have to understand is like what a lot of people are at their core is we're all a bunch of big kids running around in big
Oh yeah,
bodies.
we all have unhealed childhood trauma.
Yep.
And the people at the top capitalize on
Yep.
that, and they make us pin each other or pin it against each other.
Yep, and then when you understand that a little bit more, is that it gives you a little bit more, like you can give people a lot more grace.
Yeah, yeah.
So give them a little bit more grace. You know what I mean? That's okay.
We could all use more grace in these crazy times.
For us, at least. Looking back, do you think that you would have changed without movement?
Yes, but not nearly as quickly or in the same capacity, and I don't feel like it would have been as authentic or long-lasting.
Yep. The motivation would have died, but you wouldn't have seen the external.
Yeah, like it wouldn't have stuck with me. It wouldn't have pushed me to push myself so hard. Sure. It would have just been like you can kind of. It would have felt more like optional, like a dessert, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Where it's like, yeah, you can push yourself when you feel like it.
So for people that are watching home, like now we're taking like the first step, right? They're on their journey. We're all on this journey, right? So what was the hardest part about getting started?
Physically starting, getting my slim, thick ass through the doors of the gym, putting my clothes on, actually showing up, financially being able and willing to invest in myself, and just energetically being willing to put that time and effort and energy into filling up my own cup.
And I'm going to touch on that point for a second here, because that's where I think it is actually not discussed a lot, is that there is a lot of gatekeeping when it comes to fitness because of money.
Oh, 1,000%.
And let's be honest, it's a very expensive, you know, when it comes to either personal training or having the means to get in the car or be able to get to a trainer or a gym facility. That shit costs money. Just the car and the insurance and the gas to get to the gym.
Well, then you're not counting the gym membership, the protein shakes, the gym clothes, the workout equipment, the yada, 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 the new shoes.
And it sucks because it shouldn't be that. It's really something everyone should have.
Yeah.
I really do believe that. And sometimes it does start small. Sometimes you don't have to have all these things to be here. Sometimes it's a walk. Sometimes it's doing push-ups in your room like a weirdo.
I don't think there is such thing as being a weirdo if you're trying to move your body and just do better for yourself and your community in general.
Well, I remember I had like those when I was growing up. I'm like, I'm gonna have the best six-pack ever.
Hey, but now you do it.
Well,
look at you go. That motivation and mentality stuck with you.
Yeah, it did.
It had to start somewhere. You got to start small. You said that yourself.
You're right, and it does start there sometimes.
And you got to give yourself credit.
Yep, I like that. Okay, did you have any fears or doubts before committing?
Oh, 1,000%. I'm an anxious mess. I'm a traumatized, anxious little mess. I have fears and doubts of everything. I'm scared of farts and shadows. Like I'm doing my best just to be a little person in an electric meat suit most days.
Yeah. Did you ever almost quit? And really, what got you back going?
Oh, 1,000,000,000 times. I've quit in the past. I've quit on this current journey, and I'm sure I'll quit again in the future, because that's just the human experience, is the ups and downs.
But did you really quit though?
No, because I came back. So at the same time,
Exactly.
it's like, is it quitting or is it more of just a pause? You know, like a
think it's
temporary
I look
space.
at it as a hurdle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sometimes you
yeah.
get stuck and you're like, okay, let me figure out how to get around this.
You gotta kick it down just a little bit.
And sometimes people kick it down. Sometimes people walk around. Sometimes people sit there and look at it for like 5 minutes, and then sometimes they sit there and look at it for 10 years. But that's
Some
another
people never
story.
make it through it. Some people never make it over
do,
it.
and that's the sad part. But they all can. What made you push through the early phase?
Seeing the vulnerable members of my community being taken advantage of and just feeling like it's my moral duty and like my obligation as a human person to get strong and to stand up for my community
So
and be able to help.
It's something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, it's simultaneously bigger than myself, but at the same time, it's almost like it feeds back into itself like an Ouroboros, where it's like I'm doing it for myself to heal myself from all my past stuff so that I can fill my own cup and pour into my collective and pour into my community. But then that feeds back into me, and it's really all doing it like
So
it's all
you'd
acts
say-
of service and acts of service for self.
So you'd say basically when you're taking the time to practice this form of self-love, right? That's what I believe this
Oh,
is.
yeah.
When you're taking that time is it allows you to put that energy and the rest of that love elsewhere.
Yes.
Okay. I like that. Okay, experience with a personal trainer.
Ooh,
This will
fun
be
one.
fun. All right, what made you decide to work with a trainer instead of doing it alone?
I am mentally staring daggers at the hip thrust belt that has now bruised my bony ass hips twice.
Okay.
And just really thinking back to like, I've been trying to do it on my own the entire time, but I've hurt myself. I've lost motivation. I haven't had the extra like outer accountability. I just really wanted something that could be there for me in a way I didn't feel like I could be there for myself at the time, but now it's kind of building up my own
good.
confidence to where I'm like, I don't technically feel like I need it, but also again for that like not hurting myself and just getting myself out there
Well, that's
and learning how to do things properly.
Well, that's a goal. That's a goal that I have and any good trainer should have. I can't take you on the journey, the whole ride.
Wish you could.
You're here for a stop from the bus train. Your journey is your journey, right? Everyone's journey is their journey, right? And I'm glad I could be on the one of the stops, right? But sometimes that's a part of life.
Yeah.
Right? And I can't be there for the entire journey. And that's what's beautiful. But what's beautiful is that we had the presence and time now to basically be like, here, let me help you. Let me kick your butt a little bit more. Let me show you what I can. Right?
Yeah.
But I look at it as a good trainer is the person that helps you get through sticking points or harder chapters or all these kind of things where a lot of people, I always say it's usually the 90-day block. 90 days. It's usually what happens a lot of the time, from my experience, is they either have a really good time getting through that first 90 days, and then the second 90 days are the hardest part because they see past they make all this progress really fast, and then they get stuck, and they're not seeing any progress moving forward and moving forward and moving forward. And that's where it kind of gets boring. Dull, or they get an injury and all this kind of stuff. Or there's the other extreme of that is getting past that. Establishing that habit for the first 90 days is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Because they've never had rhythm or a structure in their life to be able to pursue something like that. The discipline, what do you want to call it? Okay, so how did someone in your corner change your mindset?
Ooh. Honestly, it's made it to where I feel like I'm capable of anything I put my mind to at this point. Like it feels like I'm able to push myself that much harder, like I'm able to train that much better, like I'm able to retain that much easier, and like I'm also able to translate that into my content that much better and just show up and speak up and use my voice and just have a platform to do something with in general, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. What is something your trainer helped you realize about yourself?
That I can do hard things even when they suck, especially when they suck. Because life ain't always gonna be easy peasy lemon squeezy.
It ain't easy cheesy.
No, I wish it could be.
But that's what's kind of like that's the story, Right?
Yeah.
That's what's kind of the cool part about it, right? If everything was handed to us, what's the point?
I don't know, because it
It's
would
not
make
the
us really
destina-
weird,
it's
because
not
the
the
ones that got that
destination.
are weird.
It's not the destination.
Yeah.
It is the journey.
Oh, 1,000%.
And you don't realize it until you're a little older and you're going through it, right? And that's what I finally started to realize about this, right? I love this journey. I wanted it to be done. I wanted it to be done yesterday. I wanted a lot of things to be done yesterday. But then after a year, 2 or 3, actually 5, I would realize I had to go through all these things to become this chapter in my life. And I'm going to have to go through this chapter in my life to go, and I am patient enough and realize enough that I'm appreciative of it now.
Yeah, where it's like without all those past chapters, you wouldn't have the book of you.
Yep. Okay, and then how was your experience different from past attempts to get in shape? So like what changed the dynamic, right? Have you tried training prior to either meeting me or another trainer?
I have not tried personal training before because I thought it was too expensive and that I kind of wasn't worth it in a way, if that makes sense, or like I couldn't afford it or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of no reasoning towards no than yes.
Yeah, yeah. What was the question again?
So let me.
Sorry.
So, how was this experience different from shaping you than past attempts? Right. So, did you try to start your fitness journey, and then working with me, did that change that this round?
Gotcha. Yeah, it definitely has changed it working with a trainer. It feels like this time there's no going back. It feels like with everything that is coming to light recently, it feels like humanity as a whole is at a tipping point where we are either going to completely change the entire way society and the globe in general and everything works, or we are on the brink of imminent collapse. Like civilization as we know it is collapsing and things are getting worse. The people in charge are doing everything they can to take advantage of us and take more and more and more. We don't have more to give at this point.
Yep.
We have to put our foot down and stand up for ourselves,
And that starts.
or we're falling into the abyss.
And that's where I say is that starts with you.
Yeah.
That starts with you.
Personal accountability starts it
with
all.
You, and you can't. And that's where when I first started meeting Tiffany, first started training with Tiffany, is that I love her inspiration. I love her big goals, and I love her big dreams and everything like that. But I was like, hey, and she even admitted this early on, is that I can't do any of the stuff that I want to do in these big changes until I can face myself.
Yeah.
And that's what I always want to teach in this kind of journey. It's like you are capable of anything you want to do, but you have to want it.
Yeah.
You have to want it.
You have to want it. And that was actually a conversation I recently had with my best friend. I was talking with him about how, like, the just the general discomfort of what he labeled ownership versus employee responsibilities, where I was thinking too big brain and overwhelming myself, where I want to have this global impact and do all of these positive things. But then one of the things he said that really stuck with me was most of the things you're actually capable of doing are small, relatively small on the grand scale of things. And they're usually things that mostly affect you and mostly are having an impact on your direct life. With that whole like, think global, act local, is that all of that change that you want to make in the world has to start at home. I'm getting full body goosebumps as I say that.
I love it. Okay. And what surprised you most about personal training?
How rewarding it's been, how weird it felt to start, but how good and normal it feels now, where it feels like I'm just walking in to see my friend, where I'm like, hey, workout buddy, what's up? Come yell at me for a little bit.
And that's a great point. I want to touch on that real quick. So that's a good point, right? You shouldn't dread coming to either see someone like me or see someone at your gym.
Yeah, if you do get a new trainer, please, because there are cool trainers that exist.
There's a lot of, I know there's a lot of me's out there, and that some people do this for a job and a paycheck, but you'll look forward to seeing your trainer, and that if you don't, and sometimes you don't look forward to work out, but I promise you, if you found a good trainer, you're gonna look forward to seeing them. If they don't do that to you, you might need to find another one, and there's nothing wrong with that. Not everyone mixes with everybody, and that's really what it is. Okay, cool. The journey. So what has been harder than you expected?
Staying consistent. For the first month, it was interesting that 90-day thing that you said, because for the first month, or actually a little bit over a month, I was in the gym every single day.
Yeah, I saw that.
For a really long time,
Right.
and it made a really big impact on me. I lost 10 pounds, I gained a bunch of muscle, I gained a bunch of confidence. But then this is my second month of it, and we just had our 2-month check-in, and I felt like it was gonna be a plateau month because I had an entire week with the cold weather and my car breaking down and just getting lost in that cheap, easy dopamine scrolling where I was so
Reverted back to
overwhelmed
old
by
patterns.
everything. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, where it's very easy to have one bad day that suddenly spirals into a bad week, and then you feel like shit, and I gained like I think 5 or 6 pounds back,
Yeah.
and then I lost a bunch of it, and I actually ended up being 5 pounds down from my last check-in.
Nice.
So I've lost 15 pounds now and
Nice.
gained a bunch of muscle. But
I like that.
you have to be the one to break that cycle. You have to be the one to set up those habits to stop yourself from backsliding into all that and losing your progress.
What has been the easier than you expected?
The workouts themselves,
Right?
because that was
That's-
something you said to the other person you were talking with,
Yeah.
was about how like people will say they can't do something as they're actively in the middle of doing it. And I even catch myself, as positive as I try to be, I catch myself sliding into that where I just like automatically start complaining about something or seeing the negative in something because everything is so negative and crazy in general with
You have to rewire
everything.
yourself. That's
Yeah,
a big part
yeah,
of it.
you have
That's
to
a
realize-
part of the journey is a lot of it is like you have to change your thinking.
Yes, change your self-talk.
It was
yes.
again earlier in the conversation on the other video, we were talking about like your body can pick up a car.
Yeah.
It's gonna break every limb and tendon in your stuff like that, but it's your brain that's limiting you, and that's
Yes.
where a lot of the growth happens. A lot of the times, you think it's like this physical adaptation, but it's really a lot of mental adaptation.
Yes, your brain can either be your biggest enemy or your strongest secret weapon, and it is
Double-edged
all up
sword.
to you. Yeah.
Double-edged sword. Okay, have you been setbacks or moments you wanted to give up?
Oh, 1,000%, 1,000%. With, like I said, that whole like week that I had off,
That last month.
this month that I thought was going to be a plateau month, and everything that's been happening in society in general, it's really easy to lose yourself in all of that, and really, really, really hard to keep going. Really hard to pick up the mantle once you put it down and feel like you've lost even a little bit of progress, or if you're not seeing that progress continuing to happen. But there's actually a Japanese proverb that I really like that is nanakorobi yaoshi, and it means fall down 7 times, stand up 8.
There's a Rocky right there. It ain't about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and get back up.
Haven't seen that one. I grew up under a rock.
That's okay. It's okay. But learning new things today. I love it. Okay. And so what has been, okay, we did setbacks. Okay. What helped you stay consistent when motivation dropped?
Wanting better for myself and hitting that breaking point in my own mindset and my own journey where I realize no matter what, I am capable and deserving and worthy of receiving more, of living my dream life, of having my dream body, of finding my dream partner, of doing my dream work, of finding my life's purpose and living it, and using my voice to stand up and speak up for what's right, and just really realizing that I can be the person that I want to be, that I know that I am on the inside, that I can feel has felt like she's been trapped in me this entire time. I finally hit that breaking point of like, fuck it, if the people at the top are gonna do all this fucked up, depraved, bad, horrible shit all the time, I'm gonna come along and be the exact opposite little ray of sunshine to come in here when they say I should be miserable and doing all this shit and overwhelmed and stressed out to fuck. I'm just gonna be happy. I'm just gonna be motivating everyone around me. I'm gonna be airing their dirty laundry. I'm gonna be talking about all the weird stuff. I'm gonna get so comfortable being so uncomfortable that lack and fear and scarcity are no longer an option even on the table for me anymore.
I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So, all right, the change. What do you feel about yourself compared to when you started?
Ooh, I look hotter naked in the mirror, I'll tell you that. I feel a lot better in my body. I feel a lot more confident. I feel a lot more well-rounded as a person. I feel a lot more better spoken. I feel a lot more outgoing because of all of those changes. And it really feels like I'm seeing the internal finally starting to externalize, and I'm getting that glow up. You know, I didn't peak in high school. I
like
was
that.
bullied to shit, so now I'm getting that
There you
as an
go. I
adult,
like that.
where I'm
Glow up-
becoming the
glow up
woman.
usually comes a lot later.
Yeah, yeah. Now I don't look like a little girl. I'm a woman.
I like it. What's the biggest change people around you have noticed?
Ooh, I like that question. My confidence, my posture, my tone of voice, the way that I speak, the way that I can hold conversations and vocalize my thoughts, the way that I show up in my relationships and friendships and everything like that.
Okay.
Just the person that I am in general. It genuinely feels like I am a completely different version of self, especially after losing all of those banned versions of self with my content. It feels like now is the amalgamation of exactly who I want to be, and people around me are finally seeing me as a woman and not a child.
So what is something that you can do now that you couldn't do before? More physically.
Hip thruster, bitch.
I like that. I like that. Okay.
No, for real though, I can hit a 200-pound hip thrust and PR, or leg press PR, and just push myself in ways that I genuinely didn't think I was capable of. Like I am able to show up so much more fully. I am able to lift heavier things, push my body harder, my stamina lasts longer, my body can go harder. Difficult things feel easier, and I feel more like I want to even try to do those difficult things in the first place.
All right, reflection. So if you could talk to yourself on day one, what would you say?
In the words of that one weird Shia LaBeouf video from like years ago, don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it!
I like that. I like that. Okay. Yeah. What do you wish more people understood about starting the journey?
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yes,
and,
ma'am.
And
yes, ma'am.
your dream body and your dream life aren't going to be either, because you have to think about how many years of unprocessed emotion and probably a pretty sedentary lifestyle and extremely heavily processed American foods and just all of this financial overwhelm and mental burden and everything that your body is holding in, and all of these unfinished stress cycles, because your body is keeping the score. Even if you're not mentally aware of it at all times, we're just animals at the core, and we forget that because of capitalism, and we're not allowed to express that a lot. So when you start your fitness journey, all of those childhood traumas, all of those unfinished stress cycles, all of those big emotions that you've been tamping down and not speaking out, all of that discomfort that's in your system, it's all gonna start coming out to the surface. You're gonna cry at the gym. You're gonna sweat.
And I'll say this is that it comes in waves too a lot.
Yeah.
You start digging, and then for each shovel dig, which is each workout and each day, you start to uncover more and more and more.
Sometimes you hit a water main and that tidal pool turns into a goddamn tsunami.
Yeah,
and you just gotta be willing to give yourself grace for that.
I've had days like that. I've cried many times. How has this process changed the way you see health and discipline?
I no longer see them as optional. They're no longer little side desserts where I get to just pick and choose if I want to go work out and move my body. It is a necessary requirement for me to show up as the woman
It's
that
like
I want to
brushing
be.
your teeth and wiping your ass.
Yeah, it's not up to choice and chance anymore. It is just who I am. I've just become a gym rat at my core.
Nice. So for the people that are watching this, what would you say to someone who feels stuck the way that you did once?
What feels stuck? Why do you feel stuck? What feels sticky? Sit down and like journal it out. Talk with a therapist, a counselor, a friend, a partner, chat GPT if you don't have anyone around you or you're not comfortable working through that with another person, because sometimes it can be really uncomfortable vocalizing those things because of the stigma behind all of it. But what is it that feels sticky? Is it that you don't feel like you have the motivation and the activation energy to physically start? Are you scared about the finances? Like what is it that makes you feel like you're stuck on that couch?
Reason your way. So what I get from that is that you need to evaluate your reasoning of no versus your reasoning of yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What is one small steps they could take today?
The first one, no matter what that looks like for you, figure out what that little first baby step is. And if you're stuck on that, I highly recommend the app Goblin Tools. It will take a task and it will help you break it down into smaller, manageable, bite-sized chunks. And if they're still too big, you can break it down even further so that you make it so stupidly small, so stupidly easy, so stupidly simple, like put on one sock to where you literally can't not do the action. And then just keep building it. Give yourself that momentum. Give yourself those easy wins. Replace the doom scrolling cheap, easy dopamine with cheap, easy dopamine from you giving yourself that consistency and those small wins, because they do add up.
And if someone was scared to start, what would you tell them?
Do it scared.
Do it scared.
Find out why you're scared. Are you scared that it's going to cost too much? Are you scared that you're going to be a burden on other people? Are you scared that people are going to judge you while you're making weird faces and getting all sweaty? Are you scared that you're not going to see the results that you want? Are you scared that you're going to meet weird people, or that your trainer's going to suck, or that it's going to be too hard and that you're not going to be able to do it? Because I guarantee you, whatever it is that you're scared of, you can conquer that shit.
I like it. I love it. I love it. She's killing it. Optional. Okay, so powerful ending, closing statements, right? This journey gave me more than just fitness. It gave me blank.
Myself. It gave me myself back in every single capacity. Like we were talking about earlier, that mental, emotional, physical. It feels like it's so much deeper than that, kind of. Almost like 8D audio, you know, where it's like all of the senses, where it's like that. It's the physical, it's the mental, it's the emotional, it's just every single aspect of being human is so connected to moving your body and just being an animal, because that's what we came here to do, is experience these physical vessels and have a meat suit to flail around with.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, Tiffany. You can find this at our YouTube channel. This is going to be our first chapter of Meet the Client. Thank you very much.
Thank you.